What is up everyone, my name is Captain Giorgio and today we'll be going over the last element of design. Today we'll be talking about color as a visual element. Alright, so let's get started. So for those who stumbled across this video, what I'm currently doing is talking about the visual elements of design and how they have been implemented into the medium of photography. Today I'll be talking about color. I've talked about the other visual elements of design in previous videos. You can come check out my YouTube channel for that. And again, if you like the content, please consider subscribing because there will be more to come. Okay, so in order for us to talk about color, or color, depending on what English country you're from, we first have to understand what color theory is, and then I'll explain why all of this is important, because there's a lot to go over. So when most of us think about color theory, we tend to think a lot more on the color wheel. The color wheel is composed of many different hues or colors, but there's three main colors that I want you to keep in mind, and that's red, yellow, and blue, because without these colors, all the other colors wouldn't really exist. So that's why these are called your primary colors. You got that? Cool, because next we got the secondary colors. Secondary colors are what I like to call the in-betweens of primary colors, because the secondary colors come from the primary colors. Lastly, we have tertiary colors, which are the colors that I like to refer as the in-between of the in-betweens, because these are the colors that wouldn't exist without the secondary colors. And as a whole, that's where we get so many hues to form the color wheel. Okay, so now that we have our colors, let's go more in depth about what do these colors represent. If you split this color wheel by half, you're gonna get two sides, one of which is called the warm colors, and then the other side is gonna be called the cool colors. And this came about because many paintings and many artists were using these colors to represent, temperatures. So now all these colors that you have in this color wheel each have their own saturation and values. So what do I mean by that? When I talk about saturation, I am talking about the intensity of the color. And when I talk about value, I'm talking about the darkness and the lightness of that particular color. So as a result, we get a lot of shades from each individual hue, right? So now you get a whole library of colors. So in short, now you know all about the colored wheel. That's it, everyone. You know what? This video ended up shorter than I thought. Alright, well, I'm just kidding, everyone. So as we move along in this video, I kind of want to take a step back and just discuss, why is this even important in the first place to know about? And that's because, when you bring out the best colors in your photograph, it can either make or destroy your image, right? Because as a photographer, we're always trying to create a visually appealing image, right? If it's easier to see, it's easier to read. Color can be used as a way to express a mood, an emotion, or a message on your image. But most importantly, color can be used to guide your viewer through your photograph, to easily navigate through your story. And that's why having a proper selection of colors is important, because without it, our attention is all over the place, right? And when everything's important, then nothing's important. Or at least that's what a good manager once told me. Just like any other element, color triggers our subconscious, right? And I want you to keep yourself a mental note on how is it that we have been conditioned to think about color and the way we see it. So let me give you a quick example of that. Do you remember the first time you saw blood in your life? How was that reaction? How was that feeling, right? And for many of us, we each have our own very unique story on how we responded to blood for the first time. What kind of emotional reactions did we subconsciously collect from that experience, right? For the first time, we got the sense of urgency, help, and attention. So the color red tends to have a lot of emotional impact when we see it. So I just wanted to bring that up to your attention because that correlation of the color red has a significant value in the way that you see your life, as well as the other colors, right? Just think about the traffic signs that we see in every day, right? Most of them tend to be yellow, the more cautious one, but the more crucial ones tend to be red, right? It's not by random choice. Red is the color that grabs our attention the most because it has been naturally embedded in us to respond in a more immediate fashion. And again, that's just my opinion, and that's the way That's the way I see it. Of course, you have your own way of seeing the world. Okay, so now that we talked about why color is important, let's talk about some ways that you can use color in your composition. Sometimes it's preferred to create contrast from your color usage, so then that way things are not all that distracting while looking at your picture. If you want your colors to work in harmony, check out this tool called the Adobe Color Wheel, which I will link down below in the description. And this tool will help you out in figuring out which colors to use that best work with one another. So there is the monochromatic, which is simply just a bunch of shades of the same color. Next, you got complementary colors. Now these colors are pretty good because they can be found in opposite ends of the color wheel. These are colors that are great, that work in contrast. Another option you can use are the triadic options, which is simply colors that are equally spaced out from each other on the wheel. Now you have a better understanding on how these colors have come together to convey an emotion. I think that's really important because now you can get a response from your images rather than putting in whatever form of color came in your way to just get something out. You know, I believe that when you're creating photography work, it's important to critically select your own colors, so then that way they can each convey their own message or their own story. So that is the visual element of color. What do you think about it? Which of these photographs was your favorite? If you like what you saw, please consider following them on their socials. And again, let me know which one you thought was the coolest or your favorite one. Please let me know down in the comments. If you like what you saw, like the video. If you love what you saw, please consider subscribing. Remember, my goal was to show you the complexities of art and how these complexions affect us at an emotional level. So I hope this video helped you out. And that was it. That was my whole visual elements of design series. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you missed the previous videos, please consider watching them as well. I would really appreciate it. But thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this one right now. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that these visual element videos have served to help you out in getting started in not only understanding how art works, but also beginning to understand how is it that you see the world yourself. And don't forget, this is just the beginning. Of course, there's more to learn about art than just the visual elements. Of course, you have the principles of design. I will definitely cover that sometime in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you've been watching since the first visual element, oh man, I hope you've learned a lot, and I hope you enjoyed what you've been seeing, especially because I'm just starting out on this platform, so I can't wait to produce more content for you guys and you girls. I don't know what else there is to say. Well, my name is Capt Giorgio. Thank you so much for sticking around in this video series. I hope you liked this video. If you didn't like it, let me know. Write down in the comments. If you loved it, please consider subscribing, and I wish you well. I hope you stay safe, and I hope that you continue to be creative. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.